Ladies and gentlemen, if you can tell by the title, I hired a Fiverr coach again. The last time we did this was a year ago. Hopefully this goes well. The plan is to act like a complete bot, change my voice, everything, ask a bunch of questions about the game, and then at the end of the video, 1v1 him and absolutely fry him, and then say, hey, it was Jynxzi. I was recording a YouTube video. I'm really hoping this goes well. I've never met this guy. We literally found him right off of Fiverr. Only thing I can say is click subscribe. Let's do this. Well, so I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I played shooters my whole life. Call of Duty, anyone you can name, I played. I started getting into R6 probably around 6 months ago, and yeah, I'm lost for the most part. I don't really know. My biggest thing is I don't know the maps. I don't really know how to like position myself. It's all just it's a little overwhelming. So I hope like with this just hour of coaching that we can kind of work on a lot of stuff.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. Well, we came to the right place because Siege, yeah, like you said, it's very overwhelming, right? There's a lot of factors that go into Siege, and honestly, figuring that all out by yourself can be a little difficult for sure. So we can go over some fundamentals that I find very important, and I like to go over these fundamentals to everyone. And at the end of the day, my job is just give you the tools to become a better player, right? Your job is just to kind of see here, learn them, and apply them. And so that's what we'll do here today. Do you mind if we boot up a versus AI real quick, so I can kind of grenade myself and spectate you and see where you are in terms of your crosshair placement?
Yeah, man, that sounds like awesome.
Okay, cool. So I will say that droning is super important when it comes to like attacking, because that's kind of like your second set of eyes or your third set of eyes. It gives you something that you can sort of rely on that doesn't involve you jeopardizing your life, right? So I usually say, like, red ping is fine, but if you are gonna red ping, maybe red ping from afar, or try to be sneaky with your drone. That way you're able to kind of keep it alive and you can use it later on.
You're exposed.
Because I'm sure you've been in like a situation where you don't have a drone, and it's like a 1v2 or something. It can kind of get a little frustrating.
Okay, so you're saying I should like keep my drones alive more so?
Yeah, as much as possible. Try and treat them more with care. That like, they're there to help you. And you kind of want to just utilize them as much as possible.
They got your plan or?
No, you're good. Yeah, whatever.
Diffuser is active.
No, man.
I feel like that guy wasn't even looking at you, too.
Oh my, what? So what do you think I could have did better there?
Failed.
Yeah, for sure. So in that situation, you're kind of trapping yourself in a corner, right? You didn't really have anywhere to go. And because of that, they were able to overwhelm you because you weren't really giving yourself any line of sight, right? We weren't really like trying to fight back, I should say. We're kind of letting the enemies come to us. And so in this game, we actually want to do kind of the opposite, and we kind of want to take the fight to them and kind of be a little bit more aggressive when it comes to how we take our gunfights. Because you ever heard of the term like swing or be swung? You ever heard of that before?
No, not that one. No.
Okay, gotcha. So that's kind of a popular saying in Siege, but basically it means like instead of just sitting still, you kind of want to be the person swinging, which is basically just coming around the corner, or on a fundamental level, it's literally just moving left or moving right into the angle or into the position. Would you mind grenading yourself this round?
Yep.
That way I can show you two things. So there's two things that we kind of want to work on right here, and you kind of practice it a little bit, which is pretty cool. We just want to be a little bit more consistent on it, and that's aiming head level, right? When we aim head level in this game, it kind of like sets ourselves up for success, because one bullet is all it takes to win that gunfight, right? It's a one bullet headshot sort of game. So if we're aiming head level all the time, we're practicing that good habit of us, you know, we don't have to expend as many bullets, and honestly, it's going to make the gunfights a lot quicker. Where you ever had a situation where maybe you shot him a couple times in the body, but then you got headshotted, so then you lost the gunfight, right? And so we kind of don't want that to happen. So if we headshotted that person, that situation wouldn't happen. So if you're ever wondering where head level is, because sometimes it's kind of weird to tell, you can just walk up to any doorway barricade, and if you take this line right here in the barricade, that's going to be head level. It's kind of weird because it's different. Here. There we go. Sorry, sometimes the floor can be a little different, but yeah. So here we go. The line in this barricade in here is always going to be head level. So you kind of just like walk up to any barricade, and then you can just kind of break it down. And then now that you have head level, you can kind of just move left and right rather than moving up and down. And look how much easier that is killing someone, because we can just aim in, right? Yeah, so much easier. And then if you can look at it from the opposite side too, and instead of the line, we can look at the little buckle here, and that also is a pretty good idea of where the head level is going to be. So you kind of just take that with us whenever we're aiming around the map and stuff, and we're always going to be ready for a fight, right? Now, besides head level, the second thing that we want to work on is what I like to call clearing your corners. And basically what that is if we were to come down this hallway right here, instead of aiming kind of like here or something, you know, all this dead space to my left, right? We don't want that. If someone is to my left, I would be dead, right? So instead, take our crosshair and we hug it to the corner that we're clearing. So this is my closest corner. This is what I'm going to be hugging. So I'm working with my corner, and that way, no matter where they are in my line of sight, I'm already positioning myself as tight as possible to the corner, right? This is a really, really good positioning, because look at that. It's very tight. It's very clean, rather than clearing it like this, right? And I'm kind of more exposed. You can do that with doorways too, where you just kind of take a corner of a door frame.
You're saying to sort of like try to hold like tighter angles in a way to where it doesn't expose your body like as much, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you think about it, if an enemy were in any of my line of sight, when we clear our corner, right, we're kind of, not only are we having a more tighter angle, but it positions our body tighter around the environment, and it just overall makes us a harder target to hit, right? And that's kind of what we want. We don't want to just be standing out in the open trying to trade shots with people or try to take a gunfight out in the open. We want to be able to utilize our environment best of our ability, so we're always protecting ourselves, right? We don't want to give them the free kill. We want to make sure that they kind of have to work for it, right? So they start playing the game for years and years and years, practicing these bad habits, and they don't really get better, right? So I've played with like level 400s. They have like, you know, hundreds and hundreds of hours in this game, and they have like the skill level of like a gold player still, even with all this game time, because they don't push themselves to be better, or they keep practicing the same habits that they've been practicing for so long, right? So
that would help too, if you could talk me through like just good siege techniques and stuff.
Absolutely. So I usually say that don't think about holding down sight. Think about holding the ways to get to sight, right? Because if you're just holding down sight, sitting around waiting for the enemies to come to you, what tends to happen is you start getting pinched in sight. Everyone's on sight. I'm sure you played in the game before where maybe all 5 people or maybe even 4 people are all in sight. And then what tends to happen is wall gets opened up, windows start getting open, you know, people are pinching from all sorts of different areas, and it becomes kind of frustrating. Like, where do I go? Where do I play, right? And that's because we don't apply the pressure that we need in order to lock down the route wherever they're entering, right? So, for example, I'm playing Mira, and my plan is to make sure we're locking down this hallway to get this site. Rather than just sitting in sight waiting for the enemies to come to me, I'm going to place down a mirror here, and that way, if they ever get close or they try to push the hallway, you have a way to fight back, right? That's what kind of want at the end of the day, is kind of a way to fight back. So what you could do as Castle is you can also help lock down the routes to get the site. So, for example, this doorway right here that we're looking at, we can lock that down. You can castle that for sure. because that's a way to get to site, right? We don't want to just lock down site itself, because if we're just locking down site and we're kind of trapping ourselves in castle, is we're all just huddled in sight, right? Now, because plane is kind of a little bit of a weirder map, it's a little bit trickier, I would say, to like figure out where your castles go. So I would actually tear down that castle, only because it's a way to you're kind of blocking off teammates' way to get to site.
Oh,
And,
oh, I see. Oh, because the objectives. Okay.
yeah.
I got
Yeah, yeah. So you never want to reinforce, or you never want to reinforce between site. Making sure we always want to make sure that you kind of have a way to fight back. Like I said,
Okay.
we're on a.
Yep, I got you. I think that is oh, they got a shield in the hallway. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. I'm gonna practice that strafe peeking. Yep, there's a shield in that hallway there.
Let's get you backed up, because we're applying that pressure, right? That pressure that I'm talking about. So now
Yes,
this
sir.
is good.
I should look out this door here and hold this angle.
I would never say holding angles. I say if you ever find yourself standing still, remember you want to strafe peek instead of standing still.
Yes, sir. Shield in there. I'm not really sure what to do against it. Oh, shot.
Op 4, last stop
Oh,
standing.
came from behind us. That's behind you, but yep. Good try. Good try.
Oh, nice one. There we go.
Hostiles eliminated.
So you can also what I like to do is I like to shoot in bursts. That way, like if you are quick peeking, sometimes it's kind of hard to quick peek and hold down the trigger. So when you peek, you can shoot a little bit and then come back and cover, and then peek, shoot a little bit, come back and cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to kind of extend yourself, hold down the trigger or whatever. You can kind of just come in and out, kind of like guerrilla tactics. Making sure that
Got you.
kind of keep the enemy guessing.
So, do you think the bursts help with like recoil instead, because you're shooting
ready.
smaller
Absolutely.
amount of okay. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So it's sort of
absolutely.
like I see. Oh, so you like Mira a lot? You think Mira's a good competitor?
No, I play it just specifically for this map because I can lock down long hallways with her. Every other time, I'm a very flexible operator or player, but for the most part, I usually just play
Where do you think I should?
mute. Yeah, so routes to get to site, right? So for example, this hallway right here, so you can hide it like over here, right? Something like that. Because when they start pushing forward,
Okay. Yep,
boom,
that's a good
you're
spot.
gonna be ready. Yep.
I'm just gonna put them on the doors around the site. Too, if
Yep.
that's
You
okay.
can. Yep. You can. Yeah. Absolutely. And so with Ella, because her effect doesn't stack, I would recommend never putting two Ella mines next to each other, because that doesn't really help. The more you spread it out, the more it covers the ground, right? The more it covers area.
Oh, so two elements is basically just like one element if they hit at the same time.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
Same thing if you place two barbed wires on top of each other. It doesn't do anything besides just kind of have the same effect.
I got you. Oh, we threw a flashbang in this center hallway over here.
Okay.
Another one.
Yep. So you can.
Oh, I got flashed. I'm good at that. I got it. It was the. Yeah, I tried that black flash thing you showed me. Helps.
Nice.
I think I should just anchor out. My element over there on that ping.
Okay.
They broke this mirror here.
So they're pinching us from both sides. So just focus on whoever's closest. Should probably be the shield player over here.
Oh, we got flanked from Ash here on the backside. I'm on the bomb right now. I think she's by the B bomb, I think.
Okay.
I actually have like a really tight gap. Might just hide in this corner here if you want to protect me, maybe. I'm just hiding out here.
Okay, I got your hallway. If you just want to focus on the holes, you're chilling.
Okay, I'm gonna focus on the holes.
Down to 15 seconds.
Holy crap.
Time expires in 10 seconds. Friendly, last operator standing. 5 seconds to go.
Oh, good try, man. Good try.
Fortunately, I got double swung there, but no, yeah. So you had it down. I think unfortunately, I think we're kind of just like trapping ourselves in sight, right? So unfortunately, when it comes to positions like that, what we usually want to do is kind of want to extend ourselves just a tiny bit. So if you see a teammate locking down one area, you probably want to help lock down a different area. So like, for example, I think since I kind of had the hallway down a little bit, I could have held down one objective while you could hold down another objective, something like that, where we kind of like just help each other, watch each other's back sort of situation.
You don't want to end up watching the same sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Okay,
exactly. You got it.
Sense, yeah. Oh, man. Thanks, that helps.
Friendly drone deployed. Op 4 is
Yeah, absolutely.
location.
See.
So how many times have you hit the top rank in this game?
I've hit champion 5 times, and I hit diamond, which is the second highest. I hit that 7 times, but I retired from rank. I don't play it no more. I just never. I never was a fan of playing like competitively, just because of how stressful it is.
Yeah.
Like especially since people kind of look at my stats to see whether or not I'm gonna be good enough for a coach, and I want to make sure. Then when you have that kind of mindset, you have to make sure you're always performing good, and that puts even more pressure on myself, which just makes my life much harder than it needs to be.
Yeah, I understand, man. Yeah. You just like to chill out on the game. Oh, there's a trap here on this right here.
Okay.
Oh, and another one right here. 2 traps. Okay, and then there's this trap here. It's little lasers here.
Yep. No, the tricky part is trying to push up now.
Oh, on the staircase. Oh. He got a kill and then bounced out, I think. Yep, he's roaming upstairs. He's a vigil. Nice.
Nice.
I see him on the staircase, on the top of the staircase. I got a drone on him, actually. It's, oh, he killed him. So what do you think we should do here?
Nice.
So
we are going to have to push forward and make our way forward here, so. Nice.
I'm trying that strafe beacon thing.
Nice.
Op 4 last stop standing.
Oh, I'm gonna try to get in with you here.
Okay, cool.
Oh my god, good
Op 4
shots, man.
neutralized. Mission successful.
Good shots.
Wasn't really the best the crosshair placement, but but it's cool. We got in there. So that's the kind of thing when it comes to Siege, is when we start playing passive, whenever we start like kind of waiting for the enemies to make moves, what tends to happen is we start wasting a little bit of time.
He's pretty good.
And 3 minutes is not a lot of time, right? That is actually very little time. So we have to make sure we're utilizing the most amount of the 3 minutes that we get. And if we have the chance to push up, we want to take that chance. So like you're quick peeking a lot, you're checking, right? No one's really challenging you, right? No one's really fighting back. So that's your perfect opportunity to start pushing a little bit forward and a little bit forward, you know? You want to start taking things until eventually all the enemies are pinched on sight or you kill all the enemies, right? That's kind of the idea of attack. Is kind of we're just pinching enemies slowly but surely. We're kind of like playing like Risk. We're kind of just taking one room at a time or one country at a time, you know, kind of like that. We're just slowly pushing forward until eventually they have nowhere left to go.
5 seconds to
I
go.
got you. Okay. So you're saying like, if you don't see people that are
You've located a bomb.
challenging you,
Make your
you
way
should
to
take
its
ground
location
and
and
not
defuse
be
it.
scared.
Yeah, exactly.
Might head up this here.
And so the weird thing about this map too, it's one of the few maps where it has a ton of windows that you can utilize not only to see through, but very specific operators like Glaz and Cali you can shoot through as well, which makes it kind of frustrating for a lot of players to play.
Oh wow! Wait, so you can shoot them from all the way back here?
Yep, I can shoot through these windows right here as a sniper. Which is
I
like
saw
one of the
ones right
few
there on that
niche.
window.
Okay. Yeah, one of the few niche things about this map.
It's pretty cool. I have should I look for footsteps? Oh, footsteps right there. I can't track. Oh, that is Doc. Yeah, I like this operator a lot actually. Oh, so you're peeking them through this window here. This is actually smart.
There's a guy in the hallway here. I'm gonna try to push up here.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a smoke grenade.
Nice.
Nice, man. Oh my god.
One friendly operator.
Okay, you got this. So, oh, good try there.
I shot
So your
him.
crosshair placement could have been a little bit tighter, but yeah, you did shoot him. You did shoot him. I'd say, remember, you want to hug that corner, and so you kind of what's like flick to him, or not really a flick, but you kind of like aim to him. You kind of want to already have your crosser ready
I
for
see.
him, right?
Yep.
Waiting for him. So,
Okay. Understand. Okay. Oh man.
yeah, almost had him there. That was a good try.
What
That's a good
operator do you
try.
think I should try this round?
Honestly, the easiest operator to play in the game, or the two easiest operators are Finka and Line. So Finka's already taken, but Line is super easy because remember, you just pop it, boom, you get free pings, or they have to stand still. So that's very easy. And again, he has plenty of utility to use. Now, when it comes to like defense, or defense in general, you always want to play a character that can place something down. So I highly recommend staying away from selfish operators like Warden, Vigil, Cavi. So what that does is it doesn't really help the team, right? It's kind of like a, if it happens, but it probably won't sort of thing. So
That makes sense, man.
so yeah, if you're
Play for
able
the
to
team
place
kind of
down
thing.
something,
Yeah.
yeah. That way, even after you're dead, you can still help out.
Wait a minute. This guy here, it looks like he's not even on his controller. Oh, never mind. He is.
And so we also have to think about what bomb do we want to plant on. So let's think about it. With A site, that can be kind of easier to plant because it's only one way in, one way out, right? Kind of makes our lives a little bit easier.
Yep.
So if we can, we definitely want to try and plant on A.
Doc is in this room here, right here in this room. He's the only one.
Which is good because that means he's trapping himself, right? This is good for us.
Still trying that straight peeking.
The doc is dead.
That was the
now-
only person in that room.
Yep. Now we have to slowly make our way.
I straight peeked
Beautiful
one of them. I
headshot.
straight peeked one of them.
Nice.
That was good.
Hell yeah.
That was cool.
Now,
That
did you
felt
bring
good,
grenades or
man.
flashbangs?
Flashbangs.
Okay, so you're gonna use your flashbangs. Or you're gonna try and push through, right?
Okay. Should I try to get into that room and plant, maybe?
Eventually. But the Fenrir is gonna be kind of annoying to play against. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw a smoke grenade for you. Oh.
Should I run now?
Okay, and then you. Yeah, I would run now.
Oh my god, that actually worked. I'm planting in this corner over here.
Yep.
1 op 4 remaining.
Oh my god.
Protected at
All right, so you got the last guy.
Let's go.
Nice, good job.
Dude, that felt good, man. I was doing the straight peeking. Okay, that felt
Nice.
pretty good. Thank
You
you,
did
man.
really good there. I would say the only thing, remember, you want to try and aim just a tiny bit higher. So instead of aiming by their pelvis, at least their chest. Definitely
Okay.
their chest.
Got it.
If you can just practice at least chest, it'll be a lot better.
Dude, you just freaking carried us. Good stuff, man.
It's all good. It'd be a problem if I didn't carry, honestly.
No, man, you don't got to put that pressure on yourself. Can't always do good. Okay, yeah, so if you want to just do like a quick 1v1 to like 4 or something, and then you can just tell me what I'm doing good and bad, that would help me a lot too. To play
Absolutely.
against it. And that.
Yeah, I'm booting up the custom right now.
Thank you for the
Yeah,
time.
for sure. All right. But yeah, I'm super glad you got that quick peek kill there. That's awesome. I'm glad you're applying what we've been learning. That's super
Yeah.
cool to see.
The before I killed the last guy, I was doing the strafe beacon on the Ella, and I killed her. Like she barely even shot back at me.
Nice. Yep, and it's applying that stringer be swung, right? And they can't do anything.
I'm gonna try so hard right now, and I feel, Dylan, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're the nicest guy ever. I'm so sorry, but I have to. All right, man.
For this 1v1, it doesn't matter what operator you play. All I ask is that you don't reinforce anything, because I want you to be I want you to try and get comfortable being uncomfortable. All right, I'm gonna start opening up parts of site, like the main wall and stuff, and you're gonna get into games where sometimes the breach might be open, right? If you were to just reinforce all the walls and let me come through one doorway, that's in a perfect world scenario. That's not going to happen, right, for most games. So I want to prepare you for the fact that I might come through here, might come through there and stuff, right?
Okay.
So I want to kind of prepare you to where, how are you going to play if I come through here? Okay, how am I going to play if I come through here, right? And then we can kind of break it down about your positioning, and then we can work on how to improve that. Now, let me know when you're ready and all set up, because there's no prep phase, and I'll come attack you.
I should be all set up now.
Okay. Nice.
Heart's beating right now.
You're good. You're doing great.
Be advised, Op 4 has located a bomb.
So with your positioning, you're kind of trapping yourself in kids, right? Do you have any rotations out of there?
No, sir. Not right now.
Okay. Yeah, when it comes to your positioning, we never really want to trap ourselves as much as possible, because what happens is now you have to try and retake site. What you did is you basically gave up part of site, right? And then now I have control over all of this area for me to be able to plant.
Yep, I see that. Okay. Dude, you are good, man. Oh my god. I don't even know how you're shooting me.
Good cross there. That was really good.
Oh my
Nice.
god.
Good aggression. That's what I love to see. That's really good. You did really good there.
Thank you, man.
Nice. Awesome stuff. And it looks like that that sensitivity is kind of doing you justice there too. It looks like you have a lot more control. So that's what I like to see as well.
Yes, sir. Okay, thanks, man.
So yeah, remember, we don't want to trap ourselves, right? Because once we trap ourselves, we're not giving ourselves a lot of options. So what you did there, you vaulted through, you got aggressive, right? You kind of got a little confident in yourself. That's what we want. We want you to be able to be confident in how you play this game. Because when you're playing passive, when you're playing scared, right, you start giving things up. And that's what I was talking about earlier. When we start playing scared, especially when we're low on health, we have that like passive mentality. We don't need that in Siege because that kind of holds us back. So really, really good what you did there at the end.
Make holes, like you said.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, confidence is key in this game, believe it or not. Like half of this game is really just like the psychological, the mental that you have. Making sure that even if you're not doing good in the game, making sure that you're not too hard on yourself. That seems to be a really big one too. There's a lot of people they seem to get into like a slump and they see themselves doing bad in the game and then they start getting hard on themselves.
Yeah.
When you do that, that doesn't really help anyone. You can use it as a motivator to push yourself to do better, but don't use it as like a way to just keep bringing yourself down. You'll never get better if you keep bringing yourself down. That also goes for critique as well. So if you ever want to push yourself to become a better player, I would recommend never ever blaming like teammates or never blaming like outside factors. Like try your best to like every time you die in this game, just think about, okay, what did I do wrong, right? Okay, maybe I was holding an angle, or okay, maybe I didn't swing this properly, whatever it is. Maybe my crosshair placement was wrong. You kind of want to just be critiquing yourself, so you're always pushing yourself to do better, right? Because if I'm always blaming my teammates or I'm always like blaming my friends or whatever, that doesn't help me get better at the game, right? We're finding excuses and outs.
Yeah, it might make you feel better, but it's not going to make you get better.
Exactly. So, every time you die, just what did I do wrong and what I could have done.
Alright, so this time I made more holes so I can like move around.
Nice. My drone.
Sensitivity down 2 things because it feels a little black.
Yeah, for sure. Increments of 2, I would say, usually does the trick.
Cool.
Nice. I like the head holes over here on top white. That's awesome. Nice. Good pre-fire too. Oh. That's illusion mines. So I'd say I kind of caught you holding an angle there, so just be aware, alright, whenever we're holding angles that kind of being static, or at least my perspective, it looked like you're holding an angle.
Yes, sir.
A bomb has been located by Op 4.
Wow, man.
Nice.
Mission failed.
That was good. You tagged me up good.
You hear? Oh man, you heard me instantly. Wow, well played.
So it's only because
This
there's
guy's
not a lot
insane.
going on. It's just you and me, so I'm able to like kind of focus more on kind of more of the sounds, right? Whenever you're in a 1v1 situation, you kind of get to lock in and kind of listen to these sounds. Now, when it comes to 5v5 and stuff, you're going to hear so much sounds going on. So sometimes it might be a little bit harder to hear things like that. But just keep in mind that everything we do in this game makes noise, right? From breaking a barricade to shooting a camera, it all makes noise, right? So just even like walking through the rotates that you made, right? Those holes all on the ground are wood and debris, right? So I can hear you walk through that wood. So just keep that in mind, that if you're ever like kind of doing something, it kind of makes noise. You gotta have to be quick and react quick enough to where you're in a position to where you can act fast enough to, by the time they do hear you, you already got them, right? But that was really, really good aggression. I really like that you're playing a lot more confidently too. That's what I really love to see. So that's awesome.
Thank you, man.
Bomb has been located.
Nice. You just committed, huh?
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Successful.
I love it. And I think that was a good little pre-fire you did too. I don't think we really went over pre-firing that much, but I'm glad you incorporated some pre-firing. That was good. I will say that reckless behavior, sometimes you may be rewarded for it, sometimes you won't. So if in order to make sure that you're rewarded as much as possible, what I highly recommend are two different things. Number one, you always want to drone before you enter the building, because you never want to be one of those players where as soon as you enter the building, then you die for some random person camping in a corner, right? That's not fun.
Yeah.
So you always want to drone before you enter the building, and then you always want to drone before you enter site, because these one's protecting your life, all it takes is a couple of seconds. The other one, right, droning before you enter site, you know that someone's going to be sitting on site. You just don't know where they are most of the time. So you want to take that opportunity to figure out where they are and then act upon that very quickly, where you're already going to be prepped and waiting for them. Now you don't want to start droning out site when you're outside the building, because you can't act upon that fast enough, right? And then now what? Now, by the time it takes me to start making action, like 10 seconds later, I see him and kids, and I start making my way into sight. Oh, yeah. Now he's in a whole different, completely room, right? So you want to make sure we're acting quick upon our intel. So
yes, sir.
Finding the balance of aggression and strategy, basically. So
gotcha. Just play a little bit slower next time. Yeah.
You must locate and defuse the bomb.
Just one drone. I just want to see at least one drone. As drones, like I said, drones are going to be your best friend in this game. They let you know what's going on without you risking your life, right?
located a bomb.
Oh shit.
So whenever it comes to droning, keep in mind that the closer you are to someone, the louder your drone is. So
Try to
just
keep
making
them
sure
further
that,
away
like,
kind of thing.
yeah, you kind of want to be like a ninja
Okay.
when it comes to your droning.
Yep.
Even using drones to just listen rather than actually physically spotting them, because what a lot of times what happens is people have to physically look at the person and hold down Y. Great quick peek. People have to physically like hold down Y in order to spot someone, but you don't always need to do that. Nice, got aggressive. I like that. Nice, good headshot there. I would say, I would have just stuck down the plant because what happened was you had that sight control down, right? So until you start hearing me getting closer, because you had the bees to block me off, right? That's one of the strongest things about Grim is you're basically saying, hey, you can't swing this no more, right?
Yeah.
Because you're saying, hey, otherwise you're gonna get tagged. So that's really, really good there. I would say. You have the opportunity, stick the plant down because you're protected, right? You have the bees to kind of watch your back, and especially the sound cues too of me walking towards you kind of just lets you know if I'm ever going to get close.
Yes,
you don't want to get too greedy when it comes to your positioning, because what happened was you kind of pushed a little bit too deep, and then you kind of trapped yourself in kids again.
Yes,
So
okay.
So we don't want to like start pushing, and then we start getting greedy with how much territory we're taking, and then what happens is, oh man, now I'm in too deep and I have nowhere to play off of anymore, right? Meanwhile, you already had the part of the site down. You had the defuse down, planning to stick it, and then now you don't have to worry about defuse anymore, right? Now you just have to worry about either killing me or making sure I don't plant. So it kind of just like takes a little bit of load off your shoulders. So it kind of like just makes your life a little bit easier.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that makes sense, man.
Yeah, but you're doing great so far, and great quick peeking. You are learning real quick when it comes to the quick peeking. That makes me really happy to see. That's awesome.
Thank you, man.
That's what I love about custom games, too, is I can pause the timer. So versus AI and real matches, we don't have that. So that's always nice.
Location secure.
Yeah, just let me know when you're ready.
I should be good to go.
Okay. Do you have any questions so far? Is everything I'm saying kind of making sense here?
It's making perfect sense. Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Oh, pulse. Okay, interesting.
Shit, you knew.
I heard it. So that's the thing about pre-placed nitro cells, is it's kind of tricky because it's kind of hard to get away with it, especially when it's out in the open like that. So I always say, especially as a pulse, I would say just pocket it as much as possible. That way you can always sort of just use it to your advantage whenever you need to use it, rather than it just kind of, if it's gone, it's gone. That's kind of the cool thing about pulses. You always get live tracking, right? You always exactly know where they are. Which is nice. Nice, good pre-fire. Good pre-fire.
GG, man.
Very nice. I would say the be careful not to kiss things, right? So the positioning there, even though it's a perfect pre-fire, what happened was you're kind of kissing that wall, and so pre-fire quick peek was perfect. If you just position yourself just a tiny bit better, it would have been real good there. But yeah, perfect play style, because you're playing more aggressively, you play more confidently, right? You're not just sitting in
Yes, sir,
sight.
yeah.
Now you're getting active. That's what I like to see, because that's essentially what you want to do in actual games too. Is you don't want to just sit in
Yes,
sight
sir,
waiting
yeah.
for enemies. You want to take the fight to them.
It's
So
also
perfect
like
stuff.
harder for them to sort of predict what your next move is if you stay on the move, you know?
Exactly. Repositioning, right?
Yep.
You know, when we're static targets, like where we're holding angles, static targets, very easy to get a kill. All right, go ahead and let me know when you're ready.
I'm good to go, man.
All right. Nice, good quick peeking. Oh, nice. I just saw the pixel of you, so that was a really tight angle that you're. Yep, look at that. Look at that pixel. That was a good pixel pick.
Thank you, man. GG, man.
GG's. All right. Well, do you have anything else you want to go over?
So no, but I am not a copper. I am Jynxzi, and I was recording a YouTube video where I basically hired a coach and then like act like a noob. And dude, you were fucking amazing. Like your game knowledge is insane. And like even the droning like a ninja, a lot of people in high ranks don't even understand that. Like, you know, not jumping your drone
Yeah.
around, keeping your drone at a distance.
Yep.
I mean, and then even all the settings and stuff you showed me, like, dude, like some of the stuff you were showing me, like I didn't even know. And I'm like, I play this game every day, dude. No, and you're also like, I can just tell an insanely nice human being, dude.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Man, I appreciate that. Thanks. I mean, coaching is a passion of mine. Yeah, I love helping people, and
Dude,
you
you're
know, I've been
insanely
playing this game
passionate,
forever.
bro.
So,
And like, you know what the fuck you're talking about. And like, because the last time I did this was right around a year ago, and it was so the guy was really nice, but he was like a plat, and like I could kind of tell like he didn't really like know. Like you were so focused on gunfights, and like that was so important, like just what you were talking about. Because the thing is, a lot of people don't understand like how important cover is, how important not trapping yourself is, dude. Like I know, I already know. Like I can see the comments on this video. Like I know people are gonna be like so happy with how you coached and just like because I was trying to act like as much of a noob as possible, and like you were really patient. And was there ever a part of you that like thought it was sus up until the 1v1 or no?
no, I think you did a pretty good job. Yeah, and you know, you always had good vibes too, and that's honestly a big thing for me is just making sure that the person has good vibes and stuff. So yeah, I appreciate you like as well, just like through this whole session, right? You're always like, you know, not only just thanking me, but you're also listening very carefully. You know, even applying your own input, and that was really important. You know, making sure because when people ask questions and when people, you know. They provide their own input and stuff. It shows that they're listening and they have a good understanding. So I was really excited. Like as I was watching you playing, like you were learning and learning more and more. I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome to like kind of see you grow as a player.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool. So,
dude, you are literally
cool.
awesome, man.
That's awesome.
Like I'm, yeah. If it's cool with you, I'll put it on YouTube in probably like a day or two. And yeah, dude, you were literally awesome, dude. Seriously.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You have a great night, too.
Yes, sir. Have a good night, man.
You too.
You can tell, like, he's genuinely passionate about helping people. We're on the grind to 5 million this year. I love you guys, bro. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Last thing I will say, go hit up that guy for some coaching if you want coaching.